parts. Now, I haven't ridden the course in a race, but is coming up here just a little bit down the road here. It's just some fantastic riding. We're going to pick Heather back up on the bike. Talk a little bit about the road. It's really a narrow road. There's not even lines on the road that's coming up here.
Oh, I love this part. This is actually a really fast downhill, and you're going to take a sharp left. And you do want to be careful. They are telling you to slow down. You want to slow down. You're going to see right here, this is a sharp left turn. And
we actually go back and show Heather taking this corner, so it's important here.
Because you're getting so much speed down that hill, and it's a pretty sharp turn there, you do have to slow down. And then this is my favorite part of the course. I just love this part. It's a narrow road, but it's up and down and twist and turn, and you can really go fast though. If you keep, a lot of people tend to get to the top of a hill and they're like, ooh, phew, I'm at the top of the hill, and then they kind of coast. If you keep going, you kind of pedal hard up and over the hill, you're going to get enough momentum on these hills to carry you halfway up the next hill, and they're really, really fun. And you're going to be able to see here, if you keep pedaling hard, it'll carry you up the next hill.
Yeah, this road is not very wide. I got to tell you, when we were driving the car down this, filming Heather, it was, at some points the car was just wide enough, or the road was just wide enough to ride it. Oh, this just looks like a blast where you're just kind of hammering. At this point, obviously, you've taken a loop out, you're taking the road out, you're on your first loop. You probably still feel pretty good at this point.
Yes, but you got to remember, all of these hills, you know, you got to do twice.
Now how long is that loop? About how long is the loop?
Whoopsie, look what happened here. I dropped my chain. And you know, that kind of thing is going to happen. And I think the biggest thing for all athletes, something is going to go wrong on race day. You're going to drop a water bottle, you're going to drop a chain, you're going to get kicked in the face. And you just have to kind of go with it and say, okay, this happened, I'm getting back on my game plan, and just, I did it. You can see I'm having trouble getting back on the bike. It was a steep part of the hill. Couldn't have really been a worse spot to drop a chain. And just pick it up and get going, and you know, not get too emotional about it.
Now, has that ever happened during an actual race?
Oh yeah, I've gotten 3 flats in one race.
Oh,
and I've dropped chains, yeah. So things do go wrong.
I think I think you're right, because I know so many people train at least a year or sometimes a year for these races, and to throw it all away because you have a flat or something, you just really got to be strong, get back on, and just think about, I guess anybody can think about actually Heather Gollnick actually dropped her chain and was actually able to recover and get back right on. Now she's climbing this hill.
Hard to get back on that hill, but...
But it does happen, and it does happen to the pros, and it happens to everybody.
Yep.
Yeah. We're still on this road, which is just, it seems to go on for a long time here, but it is so enjoyable to film on this road, to ride on this road. Boy, just the beauty of this entire course is just amazing. I know we keep seeing it over and over again, but for those of you considering doing this race, the bike route alone is well worth it seems to me.
Now here's one of those hills. You see me actually pick it up quite a bit, because I know that if I pick it up on this downhill, it's going to carry me up this next hill. And so I'm still getting momentum from that downhill, and that's actually a pretty big hill. And I shift right here, so I didn't need to shift into my small chain ring until halfway up the hill because of the momentum from the downhill. And
all that is doing is, on the top of the hill, you're accelerating a little bit more than you normally would.
Yeah.
So in the long run, you may be picking it up at the top, but in the long run, you're actually probably using less or similar amount of energy to go faster.
Correct.
Essentially, yeah. Boy, there's just no parts to this. We actually keep this live. We're going to go for quite a bit here with Heather, and we're going to take a right down the road a little bit here, but we're staying with her, and you can see that these hills, you're slowing down quite a bit here. Some of these hills are pretty significant. It's just over and over and all day long on this course.
It is, and it's definitely a strength course. And you can see I was, going slow enough that I figured I better stand or I'm going to tip over. But it's just a fantastic course. Now, here I believe is a nice, long downhill, which is great. You can really get your speed up. And it's just a wonderful course.
Now, what are some of the thought processes that you have at this point? Right now, we're midway through the first loop. What are the thoughts that are going through your head?
Well, last year at this point, I knew I was gaining on Nina Kraft, and so I was, where is she? Where is she? Every time I'd go around the corner, I'd be looking for her and trying to see her so I could catch her. But typically, I think athletes, you get excited. This is another bridge right here. This bridge, you can maintain your pace because it's really smooth. I saw a lot of people slowing down last year to go over that. On my second loop, I was passing some of the age groupers on their first loop. But really, I think the main thing athletes want to it's exciting. It's an exciting course, and it's a race. But just remaining within themselves and relaxed, even though you're putting out a good effort.
Now let's talk a little bit, which we haven't talked about, which is really significant, I think, for Louisville, is let's talk about the heat and just generally about the course. How much cover do you have during the day and how much relief? Doesn't look like a whole lot from what we're out there. There's a lot of canopied areas, but there's a lot of areas where it's you and the sun. Talk a little bit about the heat and how you coped with it and prepared for it for the race.
It was hot. And it is predicted, at that time of the year, end of August, here is typically hot. And so athletes, I think, need to know their sweat rate, how much they're sweating. I have all my athletes know, what their body water percentage is. And when they go out and they do a ride like this, what's your body water percent when you come in? And part of your nutrition plan should be an intake of electrolytes. And, I'm not that big of a girl or, that big of a sweater. And I think I took 16 electrolyte tabs on the bike, which is a lot.
16, 1-6.
What?
1-6, 16. That is amazing. That's a lot.
So, knowing those things and knowing that it's going to be hot and having that in your plan will really give you more success once you get out on that run course. There is a little bit of shade on the run, but not a lot. Just like you're seeing here, quick shady spot, but I would say for the most part, this is 80% open to the sun.
But beautiful scenery, more so than just you could ever imagine. All right, so we've talked a little bit about your thought process. Right here, at least last year, you're still going after Nina. You hadn't caught her at this point yet.
Nope, not yet.
Okay. When do you actually...
What you do is a really nice long downhill, but we're going to be taking a sharp right turn. And I'm going to tell you my secret, but, only for the people watching this video. Typically, you would go into your largest chain ring because you're going to go right over this hill here, and you're going to even go down more. But when you make a right-hand turn, there's going to be a hill. And so what I actually do, I actually shift into an easier gear, even though I'm going downhill, so I can make that right-hand turn and climb.
Yeah, it's a pretty sharp turn. I know when we were there live, it was a little bit steeper than I had imagined, because you're literally bombing down this hill, you turn and you go straight up the hill. And then what we do to prepare everybody for the video, there's actually another new section of the course that we're going to be coming up on as well.
So right here, I've actually shifted into an easier gear because I'm going to take a right and have to climb. I'm slowing down because I'm making sure there's no cars coming. They will have somebody there during the race, but you can see you turn and boom, you're going up. So you want to be in if you're not a good climber, even into your small chain ring before you take that right-hand turn.
Now this is we have a little bit, and we're coming up on a bridge that you wanted us to talk about. This is a big downhill coming up in just a little bit here. We're going to actually shoot the video from the front here, coming up in just a few minutes. Now we're coming up to the front here. This is great. We're going to see Heather really bombing down this hill, coming over a little bit of a sort of a bridge here area, and then we're going to be taking her right onto a new road, a new section of the course as well.
Do this. It's the same. The course is the same as it was. That right-hand turn's the same.